Good morning, welcome back. Right, today, working on the Merc. There is a few bits outstanding. A few engine management lights have come on, so that's, or one engine management light's come on with a few errors. So we need to get to that. Also, cosmetic damage. These bumpers, if you remember, or if you've watched the last video, these are scratched here, and also on this side, it's all scratched. Now this is going to cost about 300 quid to get that sprayed. I'm thinking aerosol cans. Could I have a factory finish on that bumper, or better than it is, with an aerosol can? So let's start off with that. Let's get that all prepped and done. First of all, got to take the bumper off, and it's off. Right, what we need to do now is take the trims off for the exhaust pipes, these two trims, as well as the parking sensors. If you're doing the same sort of thing, same thing applies for you. Just take as much off as possible. All you really want left is the main part you're going to spray. So yeah, I'm going to go on and do that, and then I'll be back with you ready for prep. Right, that is all stripped. All the panels, all the exhaust stuff and the panels are off it. What I'm going to do now is give it a quick sand down, but only with a real fine sandpaper. The goal is just to take the shine off of it. So I'll probably use like 1200 grit paper, real soapy as well, just to give it a light little sand down. Don't need to worry about these areas. These could go a little bit more, but what I want to do is do that first. Then I'm going to worry about these bits. So I'm going to bring you back for that, and obviously that little bit there. So yeah, quick sand down. And then what I might do is jet wash it. Get a pressure washer out, give it a nice clean. The more soap the merrier on this. You want it soapy, you want it spotless. There is a little lump there as well, just about feel. I don't know how that happened. But what I'm going to do, put a bit of heat on that, and then hopefully mould that back into place with a bit of massaging. But yeah, I'm going to stop. Hey, anyway. I'm going to stop blabbing, and then I'm going to get on with that and crack on with that. So what I'm going to show you now is that little lump there, and also there's a little dent in that plastic there. I don't know if you can see that well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hit that with a bit of heat, and that should pop out, or at least pop out enough where I haven't got to add too much filler. They're the only dents I can see on it. Is that a little one there? No, that's alright. Yeah, so you hit that with a hairdryer, or if you haven't got a heat gun, you could use a hairdryer, but you'll be there for a while. But a heat gun, heat that up in seconds. I'll show you that little bit now. I'll get the heat gun. So what I'm doing, you don't need to get right close to it. You don't really want to spend a lot of time there either. So you want to move it around, get the whole area. What I'm also going to do is go from the inside as well. So I'll try and keep the camera focused. And you can see where it's drying now. All the scratch marks in it, what looks like a really dull part. That's where we've sanded it down, and that's what you want. That's what you want to spray on. That gives you just a little bit of a keying service, surface to get the prime to stick. Obviously you can see I've missed a bit there. I'm not too worried about that because there's a bit of work that needs to go on here anyway. All the bits I have missed, I'll hit it again with a bit of sandpaper and I will get them. It just needs a little bit more. I'll do a little bit more on the inside now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the screwdriver, I'm going to hit it on the inside. Well, I'm not going to say I'm going to hit it. I'm going to literally give it a little like push. And where it's plastic, it should be enough just to push that back in place. And if it doesn't, then obviously you can hit it with a bit of filler. Just need a little bit more. Right. You see that there? Give it a little stretch, not to go too far with it, because if you go too far then you can go the opposite way. Tell you what, that ain't look too. That's hot. That's very hot, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna leave that now because I'm happy with that. That's actually come out really nicely. And I'll show you a little thing what we're gonna do later. How you can work out how much more you've got to go. I think this bit here has actually gone all the way through, so. Have a little look at that. No, it's not actually. That's a complete lie. But it's just that's good because that what we could do there is just sand that back a little bit, nice little bit of filler in there, and just like that, it is another day. As I explained yesterday, we need to sand these bits down now. Once I've done that, I'm going to spray it just with a little light bit of primer, and then I'm going to sand that down. I think I've already explained this, but I'm going to sand that down, and what that will do, hopefully, will give me some low, or hopefully it won't, but it might show the low spots and the high spots, which we may need to put a little bit more filler in. So I'm going to crack on and get that done. Yeah, stop blabbing, just get it done. It's a bit windy out here today. Oh God, nice cold water. So I'm going to hit it with a bit more of a grip. So this is 320 on a block. And then, again, loads of water on it. Keep that block nice and wet. This is wet and dry. So you can use it dry, but you get better outcome with the old wet. And I'm sure people know. There's someone on there that could comment that says, say why water's better, or wet is better. God, that water's freezing. Got more water. Right, it's up, nothing's touching, so make it a lot easier to spray. Now, I have got a little tip, which is what I use and what I do. What you want a decent temperature, you want it nice and warm, not too hot, not too cold, warm. So I have a heater down here, it's a little gas heater, I'll show you in a minute. It doesn't blow, so it's not one of these fan heaters. All it is, let me show you what it is. It's basically the old the gas one, so it's that. and they go glowing red, and it doesn't blow. It's not. There's no fan there. All it does is just emit the heat, which is what you want, because what you don't want to do is blow dust everywhere. Because obviously you blow dust everywhere, more than likely you're going to get dust in the paintwork, and then you can have loads of imperfections in the paint. So what you want to try and find is a little gas heater that has no fan on it. You also don't want a lot. I've had this before. I've not actually seen it. Have I seen it? Is people put water on the floor to stop the dust from blowing around. My problem with that is with the heat and the water, or even just the water. You're making the room quite humid, so that you're bumping up the humidity, and you don't want that either. So all I recommend is, if you can, or if you've got it, a nice heater without no fan on it. And also warm up. Obviously, you're warming up the area. You really kind of want your whatever you're spraying a little bit warmer as well. That's my opinion. These are all my opinions. This is just what works for me. I could be completely wrong, you know. And there's many professionals out there probably looking at this video and laughing their tits off. But you know, it works. Well, I hope it works. Another thing I'll do as well is warm my paint up. That could be, I've got a bottle warmer for when the old kids were small. You know, the little warmers, little kettle thing. So I'll stick it in there. You don't want it too hot, but you want to handle it without burning your hands. If you can't handle it, it's too hot. Yeah, nice warm paint, regardless if it's primer, your normal, you know, whatever colour you're spraying, your black, whatever base colour, whatever bloody colour you want to call it, and also your lacquer as well. You warm all them paints up, and that would help it. Again, my opinion and what I've seen and what I've done is it just seems to lay a lot better. So yes, so we're going to start that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to primer it first, but I'm only going to primer it in certain places, and then I'm going to see how all them the fillers that we've done earlier, I'm going to see how that filler looks. If there's a little bit of imperfection, I might leave it. I don't mind that. But if it's real bad, then I know, okay, I need to concentrate on that area, or you know, hit it with a bit more sandpaper, maybe a little bit more filler. Hopefully it don't come to that, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm going to shut up, I'm going to warm this paint up, and then we're going to spray. And remember, shake your can. It's the most boringest thing ever. You've got to shake your can, you've got to mix up all the paint inside. And you literally want to do that as long as possible as well.
I love playing the maracas. They're so fun. I wonder what's in them. Sand or rice, probably. Maybe it's little shells? Oh no, what if it's bones? No, bones are too big.
Right, anyway, now we're going to spray it. Nice and light. Well, and what you want to do, you want to give it you want to go spray, finger off. Spray, finger off. Spray, finger off. Spray, finger off. You want to do about 30 centimetres, so your bumper's there, spray there. Not to do too much in, or too close. Not to do too far away. Just right, about 30 centimetres ish. If you do it too close, you're just going to get loads of run marks. And all you want is the first one we're doing is a real light paint. You don't need to cover everything. If you can understand what I'm saying, if you can't, avoid it. Right. Oh, we've got something over here. What's that? Sorry, you can probably see what I'm doing. I hope you can.
This is the first coat of primer down now. And as you can see, a little bit there, a little bit of filler there, and a couple of little marks around here. This one here, you can see that there. I don't think that's the filler. I think that's that's the actual plastic, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. I will add a little bit more filler. This one could be able to sand down a little bit more and get rid of that. But you can see how it helps you out there, because otherwise if you're going to spray that straight away, then you'll see that there's a little bit on this edge here. But with that primer, it does help you spot all the flaws. This side's not too bad. Not too bad now. I'm quite happy with the way this side's worked out. So I might just give it a little bit of a fluff with a bit of sandpaper, but not too worried about that. Then I'm going to hit it with a hybrid primer, just to fill in any little gaps, any little spots that are there. Then sand that down, and then hit it again with another primer on top of that. Sand that down very, very lightly, and then I think we'll be ready to spray after that. So yeah, I'm going to crack on and do this, and then I'll get back to you. That's all sanded back now. I'm not happy with this little bit here. This little bit here is raised, and as you can see where the filler, where I sanded it, and you've got this bit here, so that's going to be a low spot. So I'm going to place a bit more filler just in this area here, and then just to build that up. Everything else I'm quite happy with. Again, I'm no professional, so this is just going by what I think. This side, I think I'm happy with. There is a couple of little twigs in it, not worried about them at all. So let it dry, fill in this little bit here, sand that down, and then I'm going to go over with some hybrid primer, sand that down a little bit, maybe hit it again with a grey primer, and then we're going to spray it. Look, back to black. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that. Now with that finished, I'm going to get some hybrid primer and prime all the filler marks, all the bits where I've mainly really sanded it down. What that's going to do is all the crevices where your sandpaper's got into, your grout's got into, all very light scratches. It's going to basically, the hybrid primer is going to fill in that, the little gaps, and then when you sand it down again, it's going to flatten it off, hopefully. So yeah, I'm just going to warm up the paint now. The heat is on, warming up the room. Wait until the bottle's warmed up the paint, and then I'm going to get on and do that. One thing I didn't mention is in between coats, this is what I use tack cloths. I forgot to mention it earlier. So every coat you do, basically when you're ready to spray, just quickly go around with this, wipe it all down, and that will take all the little bits of grit or little bits of filler or dust, anything that you've got lying that's settled on the bumper. That'll take that off. So you need them as well. Well, it's a good idea to use that. Otherwise, you're going to have little imperfections in your paintwork.
I've said it before, but I don't know if I press recorded. But the way you watch the way I spray, I'm not constantly got my finger on the trigger, and I'm not too close to the bodywork. I'm about 30 centimeters apart, and I'm stopping every time I get to the end. So I spray, stop, spray, stop, spray, stop. That just allows me to control the flow a lot better. And if you do it too close, too slow, or constantly, you can put too much paint on the actual bodywork, and then that'll start running. You don't want to do that. I may have mentioned that before. If I haven't, then there we are. If I have, then repeat. We've got a little bit trigger happy with that, don't we? And you can see just there the rub mark. So I've obviously put too much paint down there. That's not a problem. That's not a problem because basically once that's dry, I've got to sand that down anyway. So I could get rid of that. Just goes to show you've got to be very gentle with your spraying, and you don't go too too mad at it, because if you go too mad at it, you get that. But anyway, I'm happy with that. I'm going to let that dry now, and then I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to let that dry overnight. You don't have to, you can leave it an hour, sort of half hour, an hour. But I'm going to leave it to dry overnight because it's late and I'm hungry. So.
What I completely forgot to show you in the last bit is me just doing the last primer. So you've seen it all before, a quick primer all over, and then it'd be what I'm doing now, which is your base coat, which is your first colour paint. Right, with that done, what I'm going to do now, sand the base coat down again, only lightly, and then give it a clean service, give it a nice good wash as well to get rid of all the dirt or any grease that has jumped onto the paintwork. Once I've done that, I'm going to re-then coat it with a second coat of black, and I'll do this for probably about 4 to 5 times. You might want a few more coats. If you do, just keep repeating the process. Every layer, give it a clean and give it a sand down. I don't know if this is the right way. It works for me. If it works for me, then it's my right way. I'll tell you what, it ain't too bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not a factory finish in the slightest, but it is a lot better than it was. It's a bit wet because obviously I just cleaned it, but there is no scratches whatsoever. There is a little bit of I guess it's just like where the lacquers, I wouldn't say reacted, but just not, it's probably like a bit of moisture in the air or something, or it's just a bit cold where it's dried. But I'm not too worried because I managed to get quite a few layers on there. So what I'll be able to do, I don't know if you're able to see it there, I think it possibly could be orange peel. I don't know if you could get that from aerosols, but maybe someone that knows what they're talking about would be able to explain. But anyway, I reckon I'll be able to sand that down with basically A4 paper, you know, 2,000, 3,000, 2,500 or 3,000 grit paper, and then polish it. Or I might just polish it straight over. I reckon polish it will actually get that out. And it's not even that bad though. To be honest, it's only, I probably noticed it because I've done it. But the actual, I'm chuffed to nuts with it. Obviously you can see the reflection there is the same as the boot, and I've not even touched the boot. It looks so much better, and I can't remember how much I paid for the paint, but I'll add that now, just so you can see how much spraying this bumper actually cost. I did get quoted through a mate 300 quid for the back and the front bumper, but that was a cheap job. That was like 300 quid is it's cheap as chips to get a front and back bumper completely sprayed and repaired. He was a repair it all. But I wanted to do the back one and see, one, if I can do it, and two, just to show you guys things like that, if you've got the time, because this took me about 3 days to do, and to be fair, I could have probably got it all in a day, 2 days, or a day and a half, but I had other things to do as well, so I couldn't dedicate my whole day to it. But if you could do that, then you could easily smash it out. And I've definitely saved some money if I was to get it done. If I didn't have that mate that could do it, I've definitely saved some money there. And again, like if you get like a dodgy little panel, like a wing or something, or a fuel cap, for instance, with a scratch on it, or a smaller panel, and you're not that got a lot of confidence, and starting off small, even if it's a test patch, starting off small and then working your way up. But no, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. Preparation is the key. Sort out as much prep as you can. Sand down. You do find yourself sanding it down, filling it, sanding it down, filling it, sanding it down, primer, sanding it down, a bit more filler. So you gotta. it's not easy. It's not going to be like, I'm not telling you it's easy as how everyone should do it, but if you've got a bit of confidence or you just want to save a few quid, you know, take a bit of time doing it. But yeah, well, we've got a couple more things to do. We've got a couple of sensors that are out. I'll show you that now. So we'll just get inside and I'll show you. Ready? So I've got engine management light on, and a couple of times it's gone into limp mode. One of the times it was on the motorway, which was dodgy as hell, but luckily enough I had a diagnostic machine on me where it was in the boot, so I managed to get rid of it. But it went into limp mode. I think it went to like 40, hit at 40. So yes, got the diagnostic machine all set up, ready to go. Bought this bad boy off eBay. I knew my mate was, I usually buy my friend's diagnostic machine, and I was pretty much taking the piss. Go around and nicking it off of him. So I thought, you know what, I'll invest in my own. 600 quid off eBay wasn't too bad. But, you know, I've certainly got his use out of it already. And I think, like, what is it? How much is a diagnostic machine? Read these when you take it to the garage and get it read. It's got to be like, what, 30 quid, 40 quid at the cheap end. So yeah, you know, 600 quid, a few of them should make my money back. Right, I'm gonna let this read it because it's at 12%, 13%, 40%. I'm gonna let that do its thing, and then we'll get back to you. Right, we're done. So we've got 3 engine. A little reflection there. A bit more reflection there. Let's try that. So got engines got 3 faults, air conditioning, all that. I don't really care about any of that at the moment. But the main one is the engine. So let's dive into the engine. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's very shiny today. So I want to look at the codes. So we have no X sensor 2, cylinder bank 1 has a malfunction. This signal is faulty. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, no fuel injector 3 has a malfunction. Limit resistor, and we've got another sensor heater control unit range performance 1 and 2 sensor. I don't know what any of those. I think they're either oxygen fuel sensors, whatever they are, O2 sensors, or it's something to do with the AdBlue. I think it might be that there's an injector and exhaust pipe for the AdBlue. It could be that, because I do know in the Mercedes, or pretty much any car, that they, mainly Mercedes that I know of, that they block up with white shit. So I need to get under the car. Well, I'm going to do a bit more investigation online to see if I can find anything, just to narrow it down, because that heater, I ain't got a clue what that is. See what that is, see if that's related to it, and if it is, then I'm going to get underneath it, jack it up, get underneath it, undo that sensor, hopefully give it a clean, and stick it back in again. The injector needs a new injector. Hopefully they're going to be a bit cheaper than the Golf injector. But to be fair, 100 quid's 100 quid. So I'm going to crack on, find out this online, try and fix that first, then we'll have a look at the injector to see what injector is. See if we can find a part number, order that, get that done. And then all I need to do is get a couple of dents pulled out from a dent guy. And then she's going to go up for sale. So, yeah, I'm going to crack on and do that. And I'll get back to you shortly. Right, so I've had a quick look underneath on what I believe was the injector for the AdBlue. That's nice and clear. So I'm going to leave that for the time being. I'm working on that at the back, as you can see, at the back of the car. That's doing stuff. Diagnostic's doing stuff. I'm going to reset the diagnostic, the codes, see if I fixed it. Again, all I've done is pulled it off, blew at it, cleared a bit of white gunk, which wasn't a lot, and then put it back. It was a bit boring, really. So apologies I haven't shown you. But what I have got to is the injector. Injector 3 has got an error. Now check this out. I've just took the engine cover off, and the injectors are right on top. Now I think this is 3, but look at this. Look at this wire in here. These are the wires to attach it to the injector, and then when I pull this bit up here, which is a little plastic protector or the cable management thing. Look at the state of them wires. Oh, that can't be stock. That's electric cable. They're two different colour wires. They are. That's a blue wire there going into like a brown wire. And then these here seem to be. Look at this. Look. That ain't stock, is it? Because the rest of them, if you look at the rest of them, they've got these little there's the protectors on them. But that number 3 is shit. So I reckon someone's been in there, and I don't know why or whatever, for whatever reason, bodged it. So what I'm going to do is I've poked at him. Not that's going to fix it. I'm going to reset everything, clear all the codes, and start again. But my guess is the injector's fine. It was a resistance problem there. So my guessing is then wire connections. If they've just turned the wires and not soldered them, Jesus Christ, full on bodge. But anyway, I'm going to repair that, solder that, make that nice and strong. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Right, so I think the best bet is just pop off all this cable management. Oh, snap that. Jesus Christ. Here's me trying to be nice and gentle with it, and he's snapping it all. God, mate, this is annoying. Ow. There we go. I might fast forward this unless you really want me to see me struggle. Oh, there we are. Right, so what we've got there, we've got a cable tie, let's get rid of that.
Weekday from 10 AM till 1 PM with this brand new show. We've also got Double Trouble.
This can't be. Can you see where I get near enough from here? Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. Great. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so they've put an extension on it. So something's happened. And they've put some sort of extension on it. And I've got a funny feeling that it's I just hope they soldered it. Well, I don't actually. I hope they've bodged it, because if they have bodged it, I can repair it, and then oh no, they've done a good job. Right, I'm gonna redo that anyway. Right, so what I'm going to do is get these in. I had to cut these back because they were like more damaged than I thought. So what I need to do is one, oh shit, I forgot, I didn't put a thing in the dry. Hang on, I'm back. Right, what am I doing? I'm doing blue there. And what I really want to do is stick these down there. Oh, that could be tight. I don't think this is going to work, mainly because I haven't really got a lot. No, it might work. Just alright, that's okay. Now usually I'd use the heat gun. I don't want to melt anything. So I want to use a lighter. Right, that looks good. With that done, now I can tape up these wires and do a little bit of cable management. I'm trying to get all these wires back the way they should be, and then put them back into this trunking, and that'll make them nice and neat. Look, check this out, it's a bit of a pro job. Now, with all that put back together, and there shouldn't be any more issues with the engine or the injector. I ain't got a clue where I've got to. This start of the year has been absolutely nuts for me, so this is why this video is taking so long. It's because it's just been non-stop. But things will start getting better because we are moving house. We're moving from the south up north in a few months with hopefully a lot more land. Now we are renting here and we're also going to be renting up there, but the plan is in the next year or so we're going to purchase. But I'm done with this. Too busy here. Too busy for me. Don't like it. I prefer sheep or cows or even horse shit. Anything bar it. So yeah, that's why this video is taking so long to do. I have got another video coming up soon regarding another car, and that's been sat there for like over a month and a half, and I haven't touched it. But I am going to get my finger out and actually sort stuff out. Right, so where we are with the Merc is everything else is pretty much done. The oxygen sensor on the rear is done. That wiring issue under there is taken care of, so the injector's not brought up any fault. There is one more fault I keep getting, which is a mass sensor, which is this cable here, and it sits under there somewhere. Mass airflow sensor. I've changed the air mass. 200. No, what was it? 150 quid. I think I got it for a third party one. Hasn't made a blind bit of difference. And stupid me threw the Mercedes one, or the one that was in there, I believe it was a Mercedes one, so that's gone. So I've worked out that we've got an air leak near the intercooler. So how I work that one out is you can block pipes off with plugs and basically put a bit of air in the system, and then you basically listen out for the hissing, or some people use smoke. There's loads about it online, so if you need to know, have a look online. But anyway, I've got the missus in there. She was sat in there. I've got her put in the drive with her foot on the brake, and basically give it a few little revs to put stress on the engine, or load on the engine I should say, which wound up the turbo, which then sucked in loads of air. So that's how I managed to find out where it is. And what it is, intercooler pipe runs along here into the intercooler, and there's supposed to be a ring somewhere, a rubber ring, is this it? Here it is. A rubber ring, this little thing, in there, and it's not. So that was my fault. I missed it out. But they do break down and go brittle, and you may get the odd slit in the pipe. So if you do suffer from a mass airflow sensor, check, and it's expensive. If it's a cheap sensor, I guess replace it, but just check your piping first as well, because that's a big. Usually it's your piping, then it's your mass airflow sensor. So do that, because you save a lot of money and a lot of time. And what happens is with this, it goes in a limp mode, and then it takes bloody forever to get up to 50, and it's insane. So anyway, stop rambling, let's get on with this and get this pipe off and the ring in, and hopefully that'll sort it. Right, so that's off now, and as you can see here, that's the pipe there. And another giveaway is the oil around it. If you see oil around the joints or around the connections, then it's leaking oil, a little bit of oil out there, so we know that the seal's gone. So I'm just going to replace that quickly now. All it is a quick little clip that you pull out, and then the whole pipe should just come off. There we go. That's it, easy as that. It's off. New A-ring, and then we'll put it back all together.
One test drive later.
Right, that's it. Just got back for the test drive. Absolutely perfect. Didn't come on, and it usually comes on as soon as I go down a set way and probably get to about 60, 70. It usually comes on, and it didn't. So I went all the way down to the next junction, come all the way back doing the speed limit, so more than happy. Right, so yeah, all I want to do now is get it MOT, get it gone. I will let you guys know once it's sold. I'm not even going to bother going for its MOT because I'm pretty sure it's going to go straight through. If there's anything fun to announce, I'll do the next one. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. And hopefully it won't be 2 months down the line. It'll be a couple of weeks down the line at max. No, next week. Let's do next week. Why not? Anyway, peace out. See you soon.